Let's take a look at Sunday, the final day of week 5. Who are the stream options to push us over the edge? Michael Bolton. Any experience with helping with that?
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and for all media availabilities, please contact my management at CIA. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. If your bet wins, you'll get $30 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. We're available on all platforms. And we are a part of the world's largest, the number one, sports podcast network, the Locked On Podcast Network. So thank you for being part of pushing us there. And thank you for driving me and motivating me, I guess, to hit 100K subs. We're not there yet. 9,000 to go. And I want to get there. And if we can get there this season, it'd be sick. But I want it. And I'm motivated by the positive feedback and comments that you guys give. And, of course, the haters and the fakers. Hope you're still here. All right, let's look at Sunday across the NBA. What are we paying attention to? How do we work ourselves through streaming with this one? There are 8 games on, and there is another early one. There is a 1 p.m. game, which is the Heat and the Sixers. There's a bunch of 6 p.m. Eastern games. Then there's a 7, and then there's a couple of 8 p.m. games. So early start, early finish, which does happen pretty often on Sundays. So we'll start by having a look at the way. We'll start by having a look at the schedule stuff, just in terms of I've already released the Week 6 show today, the Week 6 preview show. What we want to have a look at here is the way that we can jump in and who plays the Sunday, Monday back-to-back. So if you're adding someone to stream in on Sunday, can you get an extra advantage by getting someone that also plays in on Monday? Who are those teams? Well, thankfully, there are a lot of them. 7 teams, in fact, play the Sunday, Monday back-to-back. Brooklyn, Cleveland, Miami, Phoenix, Portland, Toronto, and Utah. Resting-wise, Darius Garland is going to be a risk. Tyler Herro should be back on Monday. That's really, maybe Bam Adebayo a risk, but not really. Phoenix, Mike Williams. Portland, nothing really. Toronto, Pirtle's already out on Sunday. So he's sitting that back-to-back. And then the Jazz, they haven't really been sitting anyone on back-to-backs either. So not that much going on rest-wise there. But there are 7 teams that do play the back-to-back Sunday, heading into week 6 and heading into Monday. So now we can just go in and talk about the streams. Let's start with Yahoo points. We'll go on to ESPN points, and then we'll go to category leagues as well. Who are some names for Yahoo points leagues that we can stream in? Well, at number 1 on this list is the horse, Keldon Johnson. All of these guys, by the way, are 70% plus available on Yahoo. Johnson, we talked about him about a week ago, talking about how, what is happening? This guy is shooting 8% from 3. This is ridiculous. And I think since then he's shooting 50. So, well, you know what that means. It means he's doing the thing. More opportunity with no Wemby and Castle. He's taking more shots. He's playing more minutes. And he's pairing that with an insane boost in efficiency to make him look way better than he is. But that's okay. Because at least if the shooting does fall away, the increased minutes should be able to stick with all those guys out. So we do like Keldon, especially for points leagues. He's not an assist guy, he's not a steals guy, he's not a rebounds guy. He's just not an efficiency guy either. But he can get bulk stats, and there's more for him to do at the moment. In Orlando, Mr. Black is playing really well at the moment. Now, we know if you've watched the Week 6 preview show, you know that the Magic only have 2 games next week, and one of them is on a high-volume day. So holding Anthony Black after Sunday, probably not the right idea. But in terms of streaming somebody in on Sunday, he's been playing pretty well, and I like it. I hate this one, but Terance Mann is an option. He played 32 minutes in the last game. He can be dreadful. Obviously, he can be dreadful. But when we're taking a look at guys that have a level of minutes floor, Mann is one of them. But it's bloody risky. Andre Drummond. I don't expect that Joel Embiid returns. He could, but I don't expect that Embiid is available Sunday. Now, if Embiid is available, I still like Drummond because Adem Bona is going to be sidelined still. So Drummond will get the backup minutes, plus Embiid's not playing 30. But it obviously impacts him. And the expectation that Grayson Allen does not play means that Colin Gillespie's value rises as well. And when Allen returns, we can judge it, we can assess it. But for now, we roster Gillespie. And the Suns also have 4 games next week. So real solid value in not only getting Gillespie in on Sunday, but holding through next week. And then we reassess when Grayson Allen does actually return. On the ESPN points side of these, all of these guys are 70% plus available as well. Some of them over 90% available. Some of them make no sense as being available. Wendell Carter Jr., well, what are you doing? The same story, though, goes for him as Anthony Black in terms of they play for the same team. So obviously they have 2 games in week 6. But I think I would like to hold on to Wendell even through a 2-game week unless it's a 10-team format. But at the moment, Wendell is available in like 75% of leagues, and you should grab him. Yusuf Nurkic, also available. Nurkic had not his best game last time out, but he's been pretty good. And I just think until they decide to move off of him and go to Kyle Filipowski, which they might not, but until they do that, Nurkic is a guy to roster, and he's definitely a great stream in for Sunday. Plus, the Jazz have the Sunday-Monday back-to-back. I already talked about the horse, Keldon Johnson, so he's here as well. He's got availability in most leagues, and he's doing the thing. His efficiency's up, his minutes are up, his usage is up. We go to Terance Mann again. We hold our nose and go, please, Terance, maybe can this one be at least a mediocre game? And then Neemias Queta, the Pastel Donata, remains available. I don't know what is happening on ESPN. Well, I do, but I don't fully know why it even hasn't budged that much. Queta is just an absolute must-roster player. Luka Garza is not taking the minutes in any way. Queta's floor is actually rising as we go forward, and people just aren't catching on. So, Neemias Queta is a great stream. Neemias Queta is a stream, and then you don't drop him as you move forward. So, easy options for both Yahoo points and for ESPN points in terms of streaming guys in on Sunday with those games. We'll come back and we'll talk category league stuff. Guys to add in for each category, targeting the points or the threes, assists, rebounds, blocks, field goals, all that stuff. Today's episode, though, it is brought to you by Gusto. Gusto is the all-in-one remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast. Whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees, Gusto helps you do it all from one place without the hassle or hidden fees. You get unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, which means at the end of the month, they don't bang on any surprise charges. And the automated tools from Gusto, like offer letters, onboarding materials, and direct deposits, they can save you hours every week. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/lockedonnba and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That is right, 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/lockedonnba. One more time, that is gusto.com/lockedonnba. Today's episode is also brought to you by Wayfair. Thanksgiving is under a week away. We're heading into the Christmas Hanukkah season, and you want to make sure you've got your house in order because you don't know what's happening. Maybe you do, and you've got guests arriving. You've got unexpected pop-ins. Have you got enough chairs, tables, servingware, plates, glasses, cushions, linens, towels? Wayfair can do all of that stuff for you. They can get all that stuff for you. No matter what your budget or what your decor preference is, Wayfair will have it. Plus, the Black Friday sale is here to help make your space shine. But you don't have to wait because Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long with up to 70% off everything from sofas through to spatulas. If you've ever hosted family for the holidays, you know how much difference that a few new touches can make, and Wayfair makes that easy, including their fast delivery. Don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale for up to 70% off. That is wayfair.com. The sale ends on December 7th. We're here talking about Sunday in the NBA, where we've got 8 games on, including the beginning early at 1 p.m. So we're talking streaming. We might as well get in and do a little bit more stream work and talk about category leagues. And if we're looking to get ourselves a little bit of an edge in points, who can we target? Unfortunately, Terance Mann name comes up a lot in the projections, and I hate that. I don't feel good about it. Nor do I feel good about his teammate, Ziaire Williams, who had put together 3 really good games in a row and then was disgustingly bad in the last game. And that is the risk with a lot of Nets. You're going to see a lot of Nets names sprinkled throughout this show. Not only do they have the Sunday, Monday back-to-back, but there's just a bunch of these guys. Williams, Mann, Sharpe, Clowney, who just should be rostered anyway, Yegor Dioman. These sort of random guys who could play 25 minutes or 30 minutes, who aren't consistent or good enough, but they're options. So both Mann and Williams are here as points options. in San Antonio with the absence of Castle and the absence of Wemby, we're getting some bubbles. Julian Champagnie is starting, and he can score 20. That's really good upside. In Portland, Drew Holiday is out. Scoot Henderson is out. Shaedon Sharpe, I don't expect to play. Calf strain, first of a back-to-back. I don't think that Shaedon is there. And if Shaedon is not there, then Caleb Buddy Love is an option. Now, he will take a lot of shots, which he did in the last time out, and they went in. I think he's played 30 minutes in 2 of the last 3 games. Two-way contract guy, rookie, from Arizona, big scoring guy. If that's what you're looking for, Love is not rostered anywhere, right? So you can just add him in basically any league. But there is a risk. If Sharpe returns, he'll probably take 30 shots, and Love won't do as much. But there is a very clear opening here for Caleb Love because their guard situation is Sidi Sissoko, not a guard. Ryan Rupert, not a guard. Tamani Kamara, not a guard. Denny Avdia, also not a guard. It's Caleb Love and Javonte Cook, who doesn't even play. Like, that's it. So there's an option. And then, of course, if you want some points, this is points only, man. It's the Mpitsu, Rui Hachimura. I know LeBron is back, but Rui will still start, and he might get you 15. He might not. But this is, if you're ever going to use Rui Hachimura, if you're ever going to use the Mpitsu, you do it for this. You do it to get some scoring in, and that's where we're at. What about for 3-pointers? Triples, trays. Julian Champagnie. Most of these guys on this list, especially the first two, can easily hit your 6. Julian and Isaiah Joe are the first 2 names there. They are the priorities, I think. Ziaire Williams is hit or miss. He's probably 4 to 5, 3 upside. He's also 0-3 downside. Caleb Love. Again, we talk about Love and the upside there with the shot attempts with Shaedon likely out. Love, even if he's not shooting that well, there's enough upside in him just through volume. And the other one who's like a 20% shooter in college, but Jaeger Dielman is taking a lot of threes, and they're going in at a pretty good rate. Now, he has absolutely no hope of hitting any 2s, but he is taking a lot of threes. The form looks pretty good. He's improved a lot. You could get 3 triples out of Dielman pretty easily. He played 28 minutes last game as well. Now, that could easily become 20. We've seen that already this season. The ups and downs of Jaeger Dielman's life and times and productions. 3s for Dielman is an option. And that seems to be one of his best categories at the moment, more so than assists or steals, which is a little weird given the sort of player that he is or that we thought he would be. For assists, not an easy category to stream in as per usual, and the list is relatively short. Well, not short, it's relatively underwhelming. Jamal Shed, back up to Emmanuel quickly. Probably only gets 5, maybe 6, doesn't get to 20 minutes. But 4 or 5 or 6 assists is a pretty decent number, because it's very hard to get those. Dielman is there. Now, Dielman obviously has more upside in terms of minutes, but his assist numbers have not been high in Brooklyn. You're having guys like Nick Claxton run the offense for, I don't know, some sort of reason, but that's happening. So Dielman's assist numbers are pretty low, but he's on the list. Terance Mann, another Brooklyn player who is getting decent assists. They're not awesome, but they're pretty good. Get 4 out of him, you're happy. What about down in Miami? Wiggins out, Herro out, Palla Larson playing well. He is not a must-roster 12-team league guy, and Herro and Wiggins returning will have an impact on him, I'm sure. But he looks great. He can get you 6. I think we saw that literally last game. If you're in a 14-team league, 175 deep, Larson has real value. And I guess the question will be, does he stay starting, or do they keep Khalil Ware next to Bam when Wiggins and Herro are back? I don't know. I don't know which way it is. But Larson has sort of found a spot as a nice wing shooting connector defender. The last name there is an out-of-position assist guy, and it's Kelly Olynyk. We know that Luke Cornett has sucked. Olynyk's not going to do big stuff. He's not going to be a huge minutes guy, but he can get 3 assists in 16 minutes, and maybe that's what you're looking for. But like I said, the state of assists on a waiver wire, it's pretty grim most of the time. Look, let's be honest. It's not easy to get assist guys at the moment. For steals, this is easy to get. One of the easy, not 3s is the easiest, but steals the second easiest category to stream. The Rabbit Hunter Alex Caruso. Always a chance to get 5. Chris Dunn. Now, Kawhi Leonard is returning on Sunday. I don't know what that's going to mean for Johnny Collins or the Colonel Kobe Sanders or Chris Dunn, one of those guys are going to the bench. But Dunn should get his 20 plus. And he's always got a 3 steal, 4 steal upside. Jaeger Dielman. he's been pretty good with his steals. And you've heard me mention Yeoman's name a lot. So we can get 2 or 3 out of him. Marcus Smart, he doesn't do anything else. If he pushes to 25 minutes, you can get 3 or 4. And the last one is his teammate, Jake LaRavia. I don't think I'd want to try both of those guys because if one of them gets more minutes, the other one gets fewer. But they're both options. Smart's got higher steals upside. LaRavia probably more relevant in terms of overall category production and maybe even a little bit safer in terms of his playing time, LaRavia, versus what Marcus Smart does. If we're looking at free throw percentage, hard category to influence off the waiver wire, we know that. But a couple of pretty good shooters there. Julian Champagnie, Ziaire Williams, Isaiah Joe, Bryce Sensabaugh, who's back to getting like 17 minutes consistently each night. And then the spiral, Luke Kennard in Atlanta. And Onyeka Okongwu is out for Atlanta, so just keep an eye on that. Not that it impacts Kennard a huge amount, but it's just extra shots to go around. And if Lukey gets 3 attempts from the line, he probably hits all of them. He's a 90% sort of a player. And that, of course, can be incredibly valuable. We're going to come back and talk about some of the categories that are important for big men, plus the overall guard build and big build stream options. Today's episode, though, is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. And with the NBA season in full swing, there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of a game or you see something transpiring that you go, oh, I like what's going on there. I can maybe fade against that, or I can go with it and expect a little bit more by riding the hot hand or trying to get a fourth quarter comeback going. You could do that all with their live betting plus. You can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, and especially when it's your team that is making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So go to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, and don't forget to gamble responsibly. Let's talk streaming of some big man stats. Go. Rebounds, blocks, field goal percentage. We will start by looking at the rebound category. A lot of these guys, they're not particularly exciting. That's just the way this goes. But with the absence of Jakob Poeltl, I don't know whether they start Sandro Mamukelashvili in Toronto. Last time they started Barnes at center and put Ochai Agbaji in, but they could easily go to Mamu. Colin Murray-Boyles also could be an option, although he's a little bit undersized. But Mamu's a pretty good option here. Day'Ron Sharpe is one of the best per-minute rebounders. Think Andre Drummond style. So he's there. Kyle Filipowski had some extra minutes in the last game for the Jazz as they got cooked by the Thunder, but he's a solid enough rebounder too. Jeremy Sohan, probably not quite as strong as those top 3, but both him and Jordan Walsh give you that positional versatility where on most sites they're going to be small forward, power forward eligible, but they might get you 6, 7, 8 rebounds. And that's useful, clearly, especially when it's coming from a player who you might be able to slide into your small forward position. Blocks is really quite empty on the waiver wire, I think, for Sunday. It's not an easy category to get. Mohamed Ayuge is an option, especially with Okongwu, maybe Okongwu not there. Yep, that's we like that. We like the option there. Goga Badadze, the dart. Brook Lopez is reluctant, but that's how empty this area is. Lopez is actually, unfortunately for him, completely washed. Also, speaking of Clippers and wash, shout out to Chris Paul, who announced his retirement at the end of this season. That was, I guess, always pretty much on the cards. He gets to do it back with the Clippers. He's obviously been an awesome NBA player, very clear Hall of Famer, and one of the best fantasy players for the last 20 years as well. And he's just clearly fallen off a cliff. But we're talking Brook Lopez and blocks. Like, he just barely plays now, Lopez. But those 14, 15 minutes, you might get 2. You might get 3. There's just not that many good options available. John Isaac, similarly, he is a little bit washed. His injuries have caught up to him. His minutes aren't big, but he can always get you 1 or 2. And then Day'Ron Sharpe, also a great per-minute producer in blocks, less so than in rebounds, but he still does it, and there's enough there for us to like. Field goal percentage. Jackson Hayes is nearly always going to be at the top of these lists because he just doesn't do anything apart from take shots at the rim. So, as a rim-finishing legend, Jackson Hayes is an option for you to influence your field goal percentage in the positive direction. Dobby Barlow also for the Sixers, who is a little bit up and down in terms of where his playing time is, but he is ahead of Trina Watford and Jabari Walker. The thing is, does he play 19 minutes? Does he play 25? You can still get some okay contributions there. Goga Badadze, a pretty good field goal percentage guy. Day'Ron Sharpe is an excellent field goal percentage guy. And you're also seeing Jeremy Sohan improve his field goal percentage and look pretty solid in that area so far this season. And again, the out of position value of what Sohan brings is important. Now we can take a look at, if we're just looking at the overall guard stats, points, threes, assists, steals, and free throws. Who are 5 names who could be available that you might be able to help you across that sort of a build? Yegor Dioman, mention him a lot. Julian Champagnie, Terance Mann, Ziaire Williams, and then in Miami, Pala Larson. A guy that just does bits and pieces right across the box score. And then, if you're on the opposite side, you know this. If you've got a big man build, you get rebounds, you get blocks, you get field goal percentage, and often the category that's up in the air is steals. So when I do big build, I'm including rebounds, blocks, steals, and field goal percentage. Who are the guys that are available we can look at? Day'Ron Sharpe, Sandro Mamakhalishvili, Jordan Walsh, Mohamed Waiver, and Jeremy Sohan to round out the list. And that rounds out the daily look ahead for Sunday. Finish off week 5. Look at your matchup, look at your opponent, get the right guys in, pre-plan week 6 as well. 2 birds, 1 stone, and then use the second stone to subscribe to this. Hit us to 100K. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.